What's going on in this graph? Getting smaller. But here's what I think. In some of the book, the first several questions in homework just ask you to say what transformations are going on. So like on this one, when we just did, what transformations would you say are going on in this graph? How? Reflect about the x-axis, and then stretch 3. Stretch 3, correct? That's exactly what we did. We did a reflection about the x-axis, stretch to 3, right? Problem is, a lot of people say this wrong. I have a lot of people go, stretch to a half. Yeah. If I'm only going to a half, is that really a stretch? It's like a shrink, but you don't say shrink to a half. We would say shrink by 2, which is the reciprocal of a half. So you wouldn't say stretch a half, you would say shrink by 2, the reciprocal. So if this was a 1/4, you wouldn't say stretch a fourth, you would say shrink by 4, just reciprocate. If it said 3/4 or 3/5, what would you say? Shrink by 5/3. Just reciprocate to say it was shrink. Okay? Some books call it compress. The old pre-calc book did. I'm not sure what this one is, but compress and shrink, they mean the same thing. Here we go, let's graph cosine. So regular old pencil. That's pi. We'll make 2 pi be 8 squares again. We can always stick with this until next week. Now, I don't want these little itty-bitty graphs, and I certainly won't accept any half square crap. I will never be accepting here any half square. I need to think of an appropriate scale. How high is this going to go? How high is my graph going to go? 1 at the very most, right? So I don't need to make 1, so don't make 1 be 1 square, because first of all, I need half of it, right? And even 2 squares, that's kind of tiny, so we'll make 1 be good 4 squares at least. Nice big graph. Okay, cosine starts and ends where?
1.
Up at 1. Halfway in between, where's cosine?
1.
-1, it's got them in. Halfway in between there are zeros. Woo, you guys need to study. Like I said, if you don't know your cosines, it's going to be rough. You can't pass the chapter. Cosine symmetrical about the y-axis. Starts and ends up at 1. Halfway in between is at a min. -1. Halfway between those are your zeros. Okay. All we need to do is shrink by 2, which means I literally go to 1/2, right? Does not mean I go 1/2 more. It means I go to the number that's written here. A lot of people want to go to like 1.5. No, I go to that number, 1/2. Grab a color. 1/2 in our picture is really 2 squares. The zeros aren't going to change. Draw arrows and write the word final. Voila!
It's the same thing, just half of it.
Exactly. I was like 1 to 1 goes. questions? Okay, so you try.